Hi guys. All right, just hanging out over here by the 77 Dodge, and I wanted to show you guys something. Okay, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on our van. It's coming along okay, except for it's been the holidays, and so as you can see, this project was put on hold for now. But I just wanted to show you what the inside is looking like right now. And we have to do a lot of work in here, and I'm going to try to keep this short because it really smells bad in here. Because, you know, it's just really old stuff that's been in here a long time and just doesn't smell too good. I want to show you something. You see where that's leaking right there? You could tell that that window's been leaking for a long time. I want to talk about a little bit about that, but first I want to show you something that I'm not sure that I covered in the videos for my old van. If you guys are new to my channel, please go back and watch some of my old camper van videos, because there's a lot of important information. But if you're going to be purchasing, now just so you guys remember, we didn't purchase this van, it was gifted to us. But if we were going to purchase another van like this, we would make sure, at least I would make sure, that this front area was not disturbed. These cabinets are awesome and everything, and you can store a lot of stuff in here. And because they have this area here, tall people enjoy this because they're less likely to bump their head. However, this is very dangerous. I would not recommend taking any of the support ribs out that you didn't have to. Basically, the only part that you're standing up in when you're awake in the van and cooking and stuff is the very middle. That's all you need to remove. You do not need to remove anything in the back here like this van is, because this is a bunk. The whole roof was totally removed from this vehicle. And then they put this high top on here. And the reason why I think that it's not a good idea is because the roof is not just being held up by those ribs. Well, the ribs don't just hold the roof up, is what I'm getting at. The ribs also support the integrity of the vehicle. And now this vehicle, yes, it's been around for a very long time and it's fine. It's just a lot more dangerous in an accident, or if something falls on it or whatever, you don't have that extra support that you need to, you know, keep it together. I hope that makes sense. So my recommendation is, if you're going to have your own high top put on, do a custom high top job, make sure you tell the guys, and it's probably going to be, if you're in North America, you're going to be having it done by Fiberine or somebody who's affiliated with them, because they're the only people left that make these hard fiberglass high tops anymore in North America that I know about. So they're going to ask you, do you want the whole entire roof taken off? Because that's what a lot of people do, so that they have all this space. And when they asked me that, I told the owner, I wish I could remember his name now, but anyway, he's a nice guy. I told him, no, I wanted my front of my roof and the very back of my roof left, because I knew from prior experience of owning motorhomes and things like that, that you just want that integrity left. And also, it just gave me a lot more storage space. And he said that I was very smart for choosing that. And then he explained to me the importance of keeping the structure of the vehicle, especially in the front end, sound. So, yeah, it's very important. So if you guys are going to be doing a van conversion, you know, even if you're just purchasing a van, like an older van to fix up, like we're going to be doing with this one, just try to make sure that that they left some of the original roof on it, you know, to give it some support. All right, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to do a little nostalgic kind of video, because I used to hang out in my van and make videos and stuff, and so I thought it would be kind of fun to come in here and just do that. And yeah, it's kind of interesting because my van didn't have windows in the high top, and there was another reason for that I wanted to kind of mention, is that, you know, same thing. You don't want leaks, and you don't want your roof to not have as much integrity as it does when it has when it has, you know, no holes in it. And yes, you're gonna have to probably put a few holes in if you want a vent, or if you want you know, solar or things like that. But yeah, there again, the people at Fiverine told me that they didn't really recommend that, and they thought I was pretty smart, because before I even went in there, I had already decided that I didn't want them to take, you know, my roof completely off, and I didn't want them to cut any holes in it. And by the way, at the time when I did get my high top put on my van, which was, oh, probably about over 5 years ago now, they would not guarantee it if I had put a vent in it. They, you know, because, and I don't even think that they at that time would put vents in. They would put the side windows like this one has, but they wouldn't put the vent over the top. You know, like this vent up here. And we actually, there's no vent in it anymore. We put a fiberglass bubble over, or mylar bubble, or whatever it is, from another camper over the top of it, just for the winter time to keep the water out. And it's actually working. We'll probably keep it that way, because my van had no windows that opened in it except for the front windows, and it had no ventilation, and I was just fine in it for a couple of years. You know, I lived in it like that for 2 years and had no problems. So you know, this van has side windows that open. It has windows down below, if you can see that one down there, that open. So, you know, and it has, you know, the front windows. So we really don't need any more ventilation than that. Okay, so now I'm going to get underneath here, if I can. Maybe move this bunk back a little bit and get under here. Ooh, spider webs. Probably not a good idea. But I'm getting in here because I want to show you guys up close what happens when you have a leaky window. You see that discoloration here? That's from water, you know, seeping down through the window. And this is why a lot of vanners don't recommend too many windows in your van, because first of all, that's cold in the wintertime. And secondly, it's just a place for more moisture to be able to get in. So now, because this is so gross, you know, we're going to have to take all this stuff out and redo everything. And I don't even want to know what I'm going to find under there. But if I was to build this van from scratch, there's no way that I would have all these windows in here. There's just no way. And I would try, like I did last time, and start off with a cargo van, because you just don't want this stuff. And see how all this rust down in here? This is surface rust, and it's not that bad compared to what I've seen before. But this is because of stuff that was installed. When you glue things to your van, the walls and whatnot, it causes the condensation that is inevitably going to build up in here, whether you cook inside of here or not, to gather wherever there's fabric or glue, and that in turn is going to rust your metal. So even on your floors, I would recommend never ever gluing anything to your floors. And I'm very sure that the walls are going to be just as bad, if not worse. Here's a closer little thing you can see, even on the outside door, how moisture just gets in there and it just does stuff. And this door, when we got the van, had this carpeting that was glued here. And you see that's a bunch of glue and gross stuff and a tiny bit of rust. Not too bad, it could be worse. But if you don't want your van to rust from the inside out, don't glue anything in it. Okay, so I've done a lot of RVs in the past, and you know, I would get these old things from the 70s and 80s because that's what I could afford, just like now, and redo them. And I can tell you that, yeah, the stuff that they do to RVs is fun and interesting when they're brand new, and especially if you don't use them very often. But the person that gets them used has to deal with all kinds of problems like mold and other things and you have to do mold remediation and, you know, just total remodel and painting and all kinds of stuff. So when I went to build my van that I had before this one, I made sure that, first of all, I was the only person that ever had lived in it. I made sure that the paint was very nice and clean, and I made sure that I didn't glue anything down. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, so I need to attach these things to my wall, but yet I'm not allowed to glue them. Sarah, what's wrong with you? Well, inside of every van are those ribs that I was telling you about. And they're like the studs in the walls in your house. And so basically what I would do is I would find where each rib was, and that's where I would attach like a machine screw or something like that to hold whatever paneling that I put up in place. You really, like I said, glue is not a good, it's not your friend. It's not your friend at all. The floor, you float the floor. It's on the floor, it's not going anywhere, and as soon as you start putting your furniture in there, your bed, etc., the floor will not move. First of all, you scribe everything, you get everything perfect all around your little corners and stuff. You know, you make your patterns, and if your van is like this one and you're redoing it, if you can, make sure that you don't pull the stuff apart and you could actually use this for a pattern. So you make sure that it fits really good, and then you screw it down with a few screws. And I say a few, the least amount that you can get away with, because you don't really want a bunch of holes in your van either, and that steel on the ribs, especially in an old Dodge or something like that, there is very, very strong, thick steel, and they're very hard to get through, trust me. I'm telling you this from experience. So you want to fasten it down as little as possible, so you want to make sure that you fit it as well as possible. And I know that sucks and it sounds very hard, but it really isn't. Once you start getting going, like after the first couple of tries, it's not that bad, trust me. So just a little FYI, that's why I'm making this video. We're kind of like I said, kind of stuck on this project. Honestly, we're still on the fence about whether or not we want to keep this thing, because we have so much stuff going on all the time. And if we get it to where it's running and driving, and then we start doing the camper part, that's going to be big. I mean, that's the fun part for me, don't get me wrong, but that's just like a lot of work. So we don't know if we even want to spend the time to do that. So we'll keep you updated on that. And when it does start running and driving and all that kind of stuff, if we decide not to keep it, I'll let you guys know, because we will be selling it. So just putting that out there. But other than that, you know, for right now, I think it's very, very good potential. Like I said, I got to get in there and I got to take all of the paneling down and all that kind of stuff. And there's actual screws in it too, besides the glue, which sucks. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out in one piece in areas. I'm going to try, because, you know, around the windows and stuff like that, I don't know if you can see, but it's like very curved. Trying to get it in the frame there for you, but it's pretty hard. Yeah, see how the windows are, they're not totally rectangular. They're rounded, and I like them like that, but it's going to make it harder. So what I'm going to have to do is go in there with a big giant piece of paper and make a pattern if I can't get the paneling out to be able to use for a pattern. But if I can get it all out in mostly one piece, then I'll mark, you know, where it came from, so I know, okay, this is such and such side window, blah, blah, blah. Now, we might delete some of these windows too, you never know. But yeah, that's for another day. We're going to have to decide, you know, whether or not, like I said, we want to take the time to like redo this thing, because it does need a lot of work. It's awesome. It is a very good survivor, very good specimen for the year. The body is really straight. Yeah, it's just a really, really awesome van. I think it will make a very good camper. Ron believes that it is, because it is the original miles that are very, very low mileage, that once he gets it up and going, it will be almost like driving a brand new van. So we'll see. I don't know, but we'll see. All right, you guys, hopefully you enjoyed this one. Hopefully you got some information. And yeah, I'll just let it go at that, and I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on with our 77 van project. And hopefully I can get some of the stinky stuff out of here if we do decide to keep it, because man, it is no bueno in there. You guys, if you had smell-o-vision, you'd be turning it off right now. All right, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. All right, bye.